Hello everyone and welcome to another video review by Centipede Geek. In this video I'll be talking about a book by the name of Later by Stephen King. It's one of those what they call hard case crime novels. He's written three of these that have this sort of tag on here, this yellow ribbon as you can see. Get a closer look here on camera. It was a 7-hour audiobook read by Seth Nemrich, according to his sources I'm looking at. Just kind of a fun fact. Like I said, it's hard case crime, and he's done two other books with that same tag, such as The Colorado Kid and Joyland. And pretty much what this book is about, hard case crime, it says it brings you the best in hard-boiled crime fiction from lost pulp classics to New York by today's most powerful writers. All in handsome and affordable editions, the yellow ribbon represents your assurance of quality. And as you can see there's the yellow ribbon it's speaking of. So what is this book about? Just so everyone knows, there will be heavy spoilers ahead. It's about this kid by the name of Jamie Conklin, and it's sort of, I guess you could say, a coming-of-age horror drama story in a sense, as he's able to see dead people. And when I say dead people, I don't mean the ghost sort of fashion. In this book, or in this sense, ghosts are one thing and dead people are a different thing. And he sees dead people shortly after they die, and it kind of gets him on an adventure of sorts as he goes throughout his life, and he's retrieved or kidnapped, should I say, on a couple of different occasions, and his gift, his seeing dead people, is used for the a girl by the name of Liz, the ex-girlfriend of our mother, of Jamie's mother's character, and used for its own purposes. And along the way, we meet this character of Thumper, and Thumper has set these bombs about, and now his gift's being used to find out where the last bomb is so he can save all these people. And if you've read the book, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Overall, what did I think of the novel called Later by the author, horror master novelist by the name of Stephen King? Overall, I really enjoyed this one. Another fun fact, this book was published March earlier of this year, 2021. I really enjoyed this novel. This novel has a very classic vibe to it, and I would call it classic with a sort of modern flair to it. It reminded me of some of Stephen King's older stories, and then it had sort of a modern flair that a lot of his newer stories have. And some people, when they talk about Stephen King, they talk about how they prefer his older stories to his newer ones, and then you have other fans that enjoy his newer stories more than his older ones. And me, be honest, I've never read a Stephen King book that I haven't liked. I like his older novels. I like his newer novels. If I had to pick out of the two of them, I would say that I like his newer novels more, as they tend to have just kind of a neater vibe to them. Not that it affected his work. Back in the day, Stephen King was a hard alcoholic. He was addicted to alcohol and drugs, and now he's a lot cleaner, from what I understand, a lot more sober than he used to be. And I think that definitely had a number when it comes to publishing his later works, because I think that his newer works are a lot better than his older works. And but like I said, I've never read a Stephen King book that I haven't liked. There's been books that I've liked more than others, uh, but overall, I've liked all of his works. I've read two novels recently by Stephen King. I've read both Thinner and this one, and not so. If I had to compare something new to older, Later being a newer one, I liked Later more than Thinner. Thinner is a cool story, has a classic 80s vibe to it, obviously written in that time period. This book starts off, like I said, it has a kind of age vibe to it, because it starts off with a kid that's at the age of 6 years old and goes from when he's 6 to 8 to 13, and then jumps all the way to when he's like 22 years old or so. And it has a really neat concept. The way it kind of has Ghost, the way it depicts that there's a difference between dead people and ghosts, is really interesting and something that you don't always see nowadays. Uh, I like how it jumps back to older stories where we have the Ritual of Chud, and if you're familiar with the Ritual of Chud, then with the It story and Pennywise the clown and all that, and biting the demon's tongue, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the Battle of Villain Swords in your mind, it goes back to that, and that's really cool how it has that reference on that. So like I said, it reminded me of older Stephen King stories. These are story tropes we've seen, but done in a different fashion. We find out later on who the kid's father is, so it has a very nice sort of twist at the end, and a very touching story as we find out who the kid's father is, as he tries to, in my opinion, speculates on how exactly his father is also his uncle. The brother slept with the sister, and it's a story of incest, but oddly and strangely enough, it's a story of incest in a sweet way, or he wants to look at it in a sweet way, as he tries to think, maybe the brother was trying to comfort the sister, but then he thinks maybe in a dark way too, where he doesn't want to think that his mom could have got raped or anything like that. And obviously, the reader doesn't want to think that also, but it leaves it up to mystery, and it leaves it up to the audience's interpretation of the story of how we want to see our main character, Jamie Conklin, and how he came to be about in the world. I choose to see the more happy and positive side that the father was, or the brother was just trying to comfort the sister, and along the way romance started, and that's how Jamie Conklin came into the world. I do want to share a couple of quotes from the book. The opening here is a really neat opening that I liked a lot. It says, I don't like to start with an apology. There's probably even a rule against it, like never ending a sentence with a preposition, but after reading over the 30 pages I've written so far, I feel like I have to. It's about a certain word I keep using. I learned a lot of 4-letter words from my mother and used them from an early age, but this one is with 5 letters. The word is later, as in later on, and later I found out, and it was only later that I realized. I know it's repetitive, but I had no choice because my story starts when I still believed in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. Although even at 6 I had my doubts. I'm 22 now, which makes this later, right? I suppose when I'm in my 40s, always assuming I make it that far, I'll look back on what I thought I understood at 22 and realize there was a lot I didn't get at all. There is always a later, I know that now, at least until we die. Then I guess it's all before that. My name is Jamie Conklin, and once upon a time I drew a Thanksgiving turkey that I thought was the absolute cat's ass. And later, and not much later, I found out it was more like the stuff that comes out of the cat's ass. Sometimes the truth really sucks. I think this is a horror story. Check it out. And that kind of gives you a vibe of how the story reads similar to Stephen King's stories of the past. Another one on page 227 that I want to read before I cut this video off. 227 says, I was weirdly tempted, don't ask me why, but a part of me that was far beyond ego and deeper than instinct prevailed. You may beat the devil once, through providence, bravery, dumbass luck, or a combination of all, but not twice. I don't think anyone but saints beats the devil twice, and maybe not even them. Just wanted to share a couple of quotes that I really liked from the book. Overall, can't say anything negative about it, and it has a really cool original painting that Paul Mann done that you can see on the front cover here. Once again, thanks for watching another video by Centipede Geek for my Stephen King book review of a book by the name of Later. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. And as always, thanks for watching.